thank you to Ziggler and Shawn for that awesome intro. Welcome back to our sixth episode of W.M.S.T. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Peachy.
Nice. We got the cast here, the regulars. We got Cam.
Oh, hi, March.
Oh, hi, Marsh. Love that. And Shawn.
What's up, brother?
What's up? And Hound.
What's up, boys?
And editor-in-chief Ziggler.
What's up? And the great Tommy Wiseau.
Wow,
Mark.
I didn't get a cool intro like that. That hurts my feelings.
Yeah,
Shawn,
we'll come
you're
up with the
music
new one
distributor,
next week.
so.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna continue with our Road to Endgame reviews. This week, we're gonna review Marvel's The Avengers. So I'll get us started. So Marvel's The Avengers, the first time ever, 6 of Marvel's core Avengers members came together on the screen for a big blockbuster, summertime blockbuster. And man, this movie was, in my opinion, a first of its kind, where you take characters from different trilogies, put them into one movie for a huge crossover like never seen before. Now, Hollywood at the time had an eye on this movie to see what the future of team-ups and crossover are like on the big screen. As for the movie itself, I think this is one of the best examples of what a summer blockbuster is. It's got great action, amazing heart-pumping score, and it was really what I would call a perfect summertime movie. That isn't to say like that you can turn your brain off and just enjoy the film like other blockbusters seem to get that
Like
label.
Fast and the Furious, for instance.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, as I feel like this the Avengers does a great job of making the audience feel empathy and investment in these characters, and of course Joss Whedon, director, who I think really defined the second phase of the MCU, did an amazing job with the movie. And one of the best decisions I think he made was mostly for the ending of the first act and the second act. He put the team, most of the time the team was on the helicarrier, so I thought that was a great choice to get the team bonding and stuff like that. It was really good. That was, I think, a really good choice. Oh yeah, and in my opinion, the movie excelled at making the characters of the likes of Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, two huge egos trying to come together and team up for the greater good feel very epic. When the team was interacting, of course, with each other, the dialogue exchange was tremendous. One of my favorite lines from the movie is Steve Rogers talking to Tony Stark saying, "Big man in a suit of armor. Take that off. What are you?" And then Tony goes, "Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist." And that scene overall, I think, had really good tension and just really well done. And of course, we can't talk about the Avengers without talking about the New York battle, that third act, man. Breathtaking action set piece. It was a perfect conclusion to a perfect movie, in my opinion. Lastly, Loki, of course, played by Tom Hiddleston, was a very good villain, who, of course, was a fan favorite and still is to this day. Looking forward to his to see what he does in the MCU when it comes to Disney Plus and his own series.
He's still dead.
True, but we'll see what happens with him. I know Tyler was a huge fan of his, one of the cast members, and he always mentions him on the podcast for some reason. So yeah, overall, I'm gonna give this movie 10 out of 10. I've never seen a flaw in this movie the multiple times I've seen it, and to this day, it's kind of like, hey, I feel like watching a fun, exciting movie, and this movie just always comes to my mind. So yeah, I give it a 10 out of 10. And now we're gonna go with Shawn. Your take.
Well, a lot of people like a very unpopular opinion. I do love this movie, but it's not on the highest list for me. I think uh as out of all three Avengers movies, obvious or four coming up now, this one surprisingly wasn't all like my favorite. But when I first saw this, of course, where it's just a net like it's just a good movie to watch, as the first movie where they all join in together. Really well made. Um, the only thing I didn't like about the movie, which really kind of like bothered me watching it, just me personally, I didn't like Captain America's suit. I thought it looked really just weird and just like toy. It
Very
looked
very
like a
comic
toy.
book accurate actually, but yeah, didn't looked kind of hokey. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Well, the Russos took care of that later.
yeah, they really did. I mean, it just looked like a costume you'd buy at Party City.
Like it looks generic.
That's the only thing I didn't like about that. But other than that, like you said, the dialogue exchange is amazing, especially the heated scene with Tony and Steve is one of the camera angles on that where it's just getting their eye line and barely like the full frame of them, and you could feel like the tension
Oh yeah.
through them watching. It's just incredible. And plus, Tony's suit is one of my favorites. After Loki throws him through the building, that new suit he gets is fucking awesome. Especially how he's able to fly the nuke up into space, which was an amazing scene. The whole New York battle is phenomenal. The whole Avengers Assemble scene where they finally come together as like one. It's like I get goosebumps even just talking about it now. And also we get introduced to Thanos, who at the time when I was seeing this, like not really a knowledged fan as I am now, we were we waited till the end credits and we saw the big purple guy turn around and be like, who the fuck is that? And
We
now
weren't
literally,
ready.
now
True.
literally Thanos
World
is
wasn't ready.
my favorite like villain ever, and Josh Brolin is literally the best. And that wasn't Josh Brolin before. It was
Right?
some actor. I keep forgetting his name, but he's
Hold on.
most well known for that. And that sequence that it like gave us a little bit of breadcrumbs, like a little bit of a trail for what's to come, and then we got like for what's happening in Infinity War and in Endgame. But overall, movies not my favorite Avengers movie, but I'd give it a 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
By the
All right.
way, Damon Poitier was Thanos in the first Avengers.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh
Ken.
wow. Oh yeah, because he was cast around Guardians of the Galaxy first time. That's interesting.
Yeah, they
And
didn't
then
know
he
who
was
was
replaced
gonna
by
play
Brolin.
Thanos, so they just had somebody like just they just had somebody so they did massive CGI just so they can have the look for him,
Yeah.
and you could see the massive change, not even in the color in his skin, but his just facial expressions and everything. Where I'm gonna like say again, Josh Brolin, amazing as Thanos forever and
True.
will always be. I love
All
you,
right.
Josh.
We're gonna go with Ziggler now.
I remember seeing this movie in May of 2012, going to see it with my dad as a kid in IMAX 3D. It was a fucking awesome experience seeing that in IMAX 3D. I loved this movie as a kid, and I still love it. It will probably always be one of my favorite movies of all time because there's never a dull moment in it, really. It's entertaining from start to finish. Joss Whedon really did a really good job with the first Avengers. Credit all to him. And still, I agree with Shawn that even though Captain America is my favorite Avenger, his suit fucking sucks.
Helmet really just did the whole spandex. It really just
Yeah, it really wasn't good. So I'm really glad the Russos did better with it. But yeah, my favorite scene is still them all teaming up at the third act, with Hulk finally coming, and yeah, that was a fantastic scene with them with the camera circling around them as they're fighting the Chitauri. It was just a great movie, and if I were to give it a score, also I want to talk about the helicarrier. Seeing the helicarrier on screen for the first time, I believe, it was awesome to see it. And reading it in comics a lot. Like, first time I read about the helicarrier was in Civil War, and yeah, that was the first time I ever seen a helicarrier on page, and seeing it on the big screen, it was fucking awesome. So, also, if I were to score it, I'll probably give it 8.8 out of 10.
8.8 out of 10. All right.
That's specific.
Well, I'm a specific guy, dude. Also, credit to Jack Kirby, who created the helicarrier. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. All right. Hound, you're up.
Okay. So, so after like watching the 20 movies last year, wait, was it like before Infinity War? Was it like 20 or like 19?
18 something, I think.
Like it made me wish that like
It was
Edward
it was
Norton-
18.
Like it made me wish that Edward Norton like stuck around for the Avengers. You know, that's kind of a weird thing to say. But like I really wish his version of Bruce Banner would have stayed with the MCU. He would have been in Infinity War and stuff.
Ed
But,
Norton is still my favorite Hulk.
Yeah, I do.
Not
like
my favorite Bruce Banner, but my favorite Hulk.
Yeah.
I do like Mark's version of Banner though. That like it was pretty good. Banner. And also last year was the first time I watched Avengers for like from start to finish because I would only catch like the scenes of it like on TV. I never watched it from like beginning to end, so that was also pretty cool. And I really like the scene when Stark's underwater. He's doing the energy thing. I just think the lighting in that scene is like really nice. And I really like the scene where like Loki's using that like eye thing, and he just gets this creepy ass smile, just like, and the music behind it is just great, perfect. And the fight scene, great. The forest scene, maybe the best scene in the movie, with the fight with Iron Man, with Thor, and Cap, was just great, beautiful. And also, the Avengers movie is basically like the first ever Avengers comic book, like where like the Avengers like team up to defeat Loki, but like except for Hawkeye and Black Widow, it's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and that's all I have to like say for it.
What do you rate it?
Probably since I don't really have any real connection to it, probably 6 out of 10.
Damn.
You think the movie's okay? Like,
Yes, I love we know
Every
seven.
time it's such
Seven out-
negative.
seven
I
out of
know,
10.
right? It's always like 5 or
No, it's
6
the
with
slow
Hound.
stuff.
No, I have my numbers mixed up. It's 7 out of 10. I really do enjoy the movie, but I don't have any connection to it. No nostalgia, which brings it up. But it's a good movie.
Yeah.
If next week's movie is what I think it is, then it might be a higher score.
Do you okay? Let me just ask you this real quick. Do you think outside of nostalgia, like criticizing the movie on its own merits, do you think it's good?
Yeah, I watched it Wednesday, I think, and it still holds up. Like,
Okay.
I really like it.
That's
So
what we're
based
at.
It is
so
it is
based on
really
that, what do you
weird.
score?
It is really weird seeing Captain America in that like portrayed in that way because he's so different now. He like that's not like Steve anymore. It's so weird. And also Thor
That's not really
and
true, I
Iron Man.
don't think.
Yeah, they
No,
are.
that Captain America looks really shitty. The newer one looks.
Well, it's just because of his costume. I
No,
mean, it's not
no,
just
not
because
the
his
costume.
character.
Like the character, like Steve acts like different than in this movie and also in Civil War and Infinity War, and I think it's kind of cool.
Well,
that
that's
it
character
shows-
development,
Yeah,
just like
character
Tony
arcs,
Stark.
like-
Tony
Yeah.
Stark has
Yeah, exactly.
more character.
Same with Thor. Not really with Hulk though. No cheese with Hulk. I will say that.
So what's your final
Well,
score?
yeah. 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. All right, lock it down.
Attaboy.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, Cam.
I actually remember going to see the movie with my dad all the way back in 2012. I absolutely loved it.
Hey,
And looking back at it, it still holds up. Like the many times I've seen it since then, I still love it. one of the main scenes that I still remember is Act 3 when they're in New York. A little factoid: some of the scenes in the movie are actually filmed in Cleveland, Ohio, my hometown.
Oh, very cool.
I thought they filmed it in Atlanta. Georgia.
No,
They
that was
also
the
did scenes for Winter Soldier here in Cleveland also.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
wow.
okay.
Yeah, continue.
Okay.
In my opinion, Avengers was the first MCU movie that really would scream MCU and make it into the juggernaut that it is now. My rating for it would be 8 to 9 out of 10.
So 8.5?
Yeah, 8.5 is fine.
8.5. Sounds
Right.
good. All right. Okay, so our final score for Marvel's The Avengers is 8.46 out of 10.
That's a good score. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty dope.
Yeah, mine was the highest. Though. I rated it 10 out of 10. I still think it's a perfect movie in my opinion.
And Hound gave it a 6 out of 10. So.
Well, 7 out of 10. He upscaled
Oh, yeah.
it.
He changed.
It would have
Yeah,
been perfect for me, but I think they spent too much time on the helicarrier.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's-
Yeah, I would have to agree with that as well.
Yeah, I guess it didn't bother me like it bothered you guys because I liked the team interacting. There's something about that, the interactions before the battle. It's like you care about the battle more. That's how I felt. So yeah.
I mean, I
All
love
right,
the
good.
interactions, but it was
Yeah.
just too much time on the
Sometimes I
helicarrier. They
felt
spent
like
like
it was dragging a little bit to me.
Oh, okay,
but,
I see. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So now moving on to our subtopic, I have a fun question for you guys. What is your guys' dream lineup for Phase 4 MCU? So I'm gonna start this off with Shawn. We're gonna go with you first.
So like dream lineup, like as in movies, like next
Yeah.
superhero movies coming up.
What movies you would like to see in the Phase 4 leading up to maybe Avengers 5, let's say?
Well, definitely, no question that Black Panther 2 is happening. That would be coming to Phase 4. Doctor Strange 2. Isn't Spider-Man Far From Home already going to be in Phase 4?
Yeah, but this is just
He said dream lineup.
yeah. So like
will
once
be in
you
Phase 4.
would like to see. Yeah.
Oh, like personally. Oh,
Yeah,
Yes.
because
alright,
that's probably gonna be Phase 4.
yeah. Well, definitely. Like I said before, just even though they're like already like set in stone. I mean, unpopular opinion apparently, and it's still like I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but because I haven't heard anything about it. But the Black Widow movie, I'm actually very excited about. And just mainly everything that's coming up is what I've been hoping for anyway. Like I can't we don't know what's happening with the Fox merger. If we're gonna get like if we do get the superheroes from Fox,
So
we're gonna get.
just imagine the merger went through. Doesn't matter. It's a dream lineup.
All right, if it went through, then we're gonna get then Fantastic Four. Maybe well, we're getting a definite Wolverine reboot. So a Wolverine reboot, but Fantastic Four is the main one for me. Like if we get John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, Emily Blunt as Invisible Woman. Apparently Vin Diesel might want to be the Thing, and Zac Efron wants to be the Human Torch. I think that would be 10
What the
times better.
fuck?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
I've been
sounds
hearing.
pretty good to me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that like that would be 10 times better than the atrocity they made in 2015.
I actually like that casting.
Which one?
Wait,
Okay,
who will be Doctor Doom?
Yeah,
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe Julian McMahon again.
I think Christian Bale would be a good Doctor Doom.
I doubt they would. I doubt they would bring him back. But if Julian McMahon gets back to
Bring him back. He's never been there.
yes, he has. Julian McMahon was. Dr.
No, I'm
Doom.
talking about Christian Bale. He's never been there.
Serious?
Well, I meant Julian McMahon.
Oh.
if they bring him back as Doctor Doom, because he was fantastic. He's one of before the MCU was even made, in Marvel movies in general, he's one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite.
Told you to forget.
Yeah, thank you.
God, this is like a fresh, clean slate, Phase 4 starting fresh. So the first movie would be Fantastic Four, because I freaking loved them. I loved the 2005 movie. Once as a kid, the best movie ever.
Which movie?
Fantastic
05
Four.
hasn't really aged all that well to me.
Oh, yeah,
The
true.
first one on Phase 4, Fantastic Phase 4 would be Fantastic Four, and then there would be Daredevil, and then Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 with a whole new team, and then Ant-Man prequel where Hank Pym is Ant-Man in the 80s, 90s or whatever, with Janet maybe before Janet, goes into the quantum realm, and then X-Men, and then Avengers Secret Invasion.
Oh, that's
Secret
a good
Wars.
lineup.
That would be
Oh yeah,
my...
that's a
Well,
good lineup.
Secret
Yeah.
Wars would be also nice. But yeah, that would be my dream Phase 4 about right now.
All right, sounds good. And Cam, you're up next.
The two movies that I already see are happening: Black Panther and Doctor Strange. I want to see two more though, the second versions of those. I mean sequels, excuse me. For I do want to see a Black Widow movie and Guardians 3 and maybe a Daredevil and Fantastic Four.
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, definitely Fantastic Four.
And what about Avengers 5? What kind of storyline would you like to see? Where would you like to see the Avengers go?
That I don't know.
Maybe new team members? What do you think?
Maybe, yeah, it's like the Fantastic Four in it. Maybe the X-Men in it.
Yeah, so maybe bulk up the team even more. Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. Yeah. And Ziggler, your lineup?
Now this is dream, whatever I want.
Yeah, whatever you want. Yeah, doesn't matter.
All right, cool. So yeah, I would love a Fantastic Four movie. I would also love a Spider-Man and Venom team up movie versus Carnage. That would be fucking amazing. With Tom Hardy still as Venom, and I guess Woody Harrelson as Carnage. I'm not sure about him yet, but I guess we will find out. I also love a Miles Morales movie. An MCU Miles Morales movie, not Spider-Verse, even though Spider-Verse is fucking awesome. And for the I also really wanted Doctor Strange 2 after seeing him in Infinity War. He was fucking badass in Infinity War. So Doctor Strange 2 so Doctor Strange 2 will be really good. And for the Avengers movie team up, I would want Secret Wars, and I will want Christian Bale to be Doctor Doom. Give me that, please. Kevin Feige, please.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a pretty good lineup with a little bit more Sony properties thrown in there too. I like that.
Yeah, man, just go fucking all out, man.
All out, yeah. All right, so personally for me, I would love to see a Black Widow movie. Of course, Feige already said it probably won't be a R-rated movie, but this is a dream lineup, so I would hope for a R-rated Black Widow movie. I would like that. Of course, Black Panther 2, Guardians 3. I'd still like to see Guardians 3. What else? I had a good one. Actually, for Fantastic Four, I wasn't sure if I would like a Fantastic Four movie yet because of how many times they've rebooted the characters and how much of I don't know, bad rapport they have with the general audience. So I don't know how they would use them, but I guess in a way they could reboot it in a way that, and the cast, maybe John Krasinski, like Shawn said, Emily Blunt, and have a really good cast that the general audience can be like, oh, you know what, this looks good, I'll go see it. So
and Christian Bale as Victor Von Doom.
Or Julian Mitchell.
Yeah,
Bale.
I'd agree. So a big time castings like that could probably help the movie. And as for Avengers 5, I would like to see a storyline in a way that it brings in the X-Men into the universe, probably like a Avengers versus X-Men, maybe. I don't know, because since they have to explain how the mutants are all of a sudden in their universe, I think this would be a good way to set up conflict between Avengers and X-Men in a way that the Avengers see the mutants as a threat to humanity, and then the mutants are just trying to live their life. So it's like a kind of like a Batman v Superman conflict, like an alien versus uh, human kind of thing. So I think that can be pretty interesting. So I would like to see something like that for Avengers 5.
I just thought of two more I would like to see. I would love to see Galactus and Silver Surfer.
Oh,
Galactus would be fucking crazy.
I
that's
know.
those are very popular characters with the comic book fans.
So I would love to see those two on the big screen in like big Avengers or Fantastic Four movies.
And not a cloud.
Not on a cloud, yeah. On a real surface. On a real surface, yep. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, those are some really good suggestions. Some I didn't even think about. So yeah, those are really good. And I think some of them can come to fruition when the DC, the Disney,
Yo, Disney's
Fox.
buying DC now? The
No,
Fox is
I
Spider-Man
said
together?
Disney,
Yes.
not DC.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, that would be crazy. But Warner Bros. Is one of the biggest studios still, so that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but just
Avengers
fucking
versus
imagine.
Justice League? Yo.
All hell would break loose. All
Yeah,
right.
man.
All right, so moving for topic one, let's move on to our last subtopic. I just wanted to mention the recent kind of mini news going around about Rotten Tomatoes changing up their website. Now, this wasn't a big deal until uh, recently, but Captain Marvel's, I know we had that huge rant last week, and don't worry, this won't be another rant. But Captain Marvel's interest rate, because you guys know how they have the thing where audience can vote for if they're interested in watching this movie or not.
Mm-hmm.
So the interest level in the movie was at 28%, and a lot of people are saying it was being review bombed, even though nobody saw the movie. It was just the fact that uh, people were downvoting the movie, which is fine, I guess. But all of a sudden, Rotten Tomatoes ended up changing the way their website worked. They took off the audience score, which is the interest level in the movie. They took that off, and they were like, "Oh, we're doing this because a lot of people confuse uh, the interest rate with audience score for the movie." Which I was like, "No, I don't think anybody confuses that. It's just it just felt weird to me because I felt like they were kind of protecting Captain Marvel, but at the same time, it was like, why would you silence the audience? And it kind of looked like censorship in a way to me. I would love to get your guys' take on this. Hound, you can go first.
I don't really care, but I'm just glad they like fixed it and like hope it like for future movies it just like works for them because I remember this huge like backlash for Suicide Squad. Like something happened with that as well, with like review bombing and maybe one for Batman v Superman, I think. But I'm just glad they like Rotten Tomatoes fixed it, and hopefully it can just like help people make their own minds about movies.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that one because it's one of those things because interest rate in a movie is different than the audience score. Because if you go back to the movies you mentioned, Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman, they all both movies have positive audience score right now. So it's not like they're being review bombed. Now that the movie's out, the movie's being
What about back in 2015, 2016 when the movie?
Well, that's the interest level in the movie. If it's down, that means a lot of people who voted didn't want to see it. So I just thought it was weird how they did that to protect Captain Marvel, and I think they're protecting other future movies. In my opinion, it felt like censorship to me. Cam, we're gonna go with you next.
It kind of feels like censorship, but like if they want to see the movie, if they want to see the movie, they want to see the movie. If they don't want to see it, they don't want to see it.
Correct.
But I would say I care, but I don't really care, to be honest. Sure, I use Rotten Tomatoes sometimes to look at it and look to see if the movie's like worth seeing or not. Like, for instance, Venom had bad reviews, and I ended up liking that.
Right. Yeah, and that's one of the things, like audience likes whatever they like. Obviously, if somebody criticizes the movie before it comes out, that's a problem. I'm pretty sure some were doing that, but not all of them were doing that. And it's not like they just took down the score for that one movie. They took it down for like all of them. Like they just changed their website just because of the review bombing. So I don't know. Shawn, you're up.
This subject's a little tricky. I mean, I do think it might be like protecting Captain Marvel, but like in regards to like Rotten Tomatoes changing this, because maybe they think if they take that off, people won't like see bad reviews and be like, oh, we got to see the movie because nobody bad reviewed it. But I like personally, if I look at the trailer and I think I want to see it, I'm gonna see it, despite what the score says, despite what something is. I saw Venom got like Cam said, Venom got some real shitty reviews, like really shitty reviews, and I got kind of nervous actually. I'm like, shit, I'm actually looking forward to this movie, and I enjoyed Venom. I mean, it was kind of dumb, but like I like as a movie, I enjoyed it, and
Like I had fun with it.
yeah, it was like a fun distraction, and like also that Will Ferrell movie Holmes and Watson that got the lowest possible score ever, and I saw it and I thought it was kind of funny.
Oh yeah,
Like,
did you get
Also, remember when
yeah.
the Upside had bad scores, and we enjoyed that.
oh yeah, me and Ziggler saw the Upside together, and because it has or Bryan Cranston, one of our favorite actors, and
Kevin Hart.
yeah, Kevin Hart too. But like we were like
Damn, no
stoked to
love
see
for
it.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, and we were stoked to see it, and we had and we saw online that it said very low reviews, and we're like, shit,
Right.
that sucks. And we saw it, and it was an amazing movie. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't, to me personally, it doesn't matter what other people say about the movie. If I want to see the movie, I'm seeing the fucking movie. If I don't want to see the movie, I'm not gonna go see it. I haven't seen any of the Star Wars movies, and if they of the review said the best movie of the freaking century, I probably wouldn't have seen it. If Rotten Tomatoes said that,
I mean, that's like kind of like Empire Strikes Back. That's one of the best movies of the century.
yeah. And if I
All time.
was live when I don't know what year it came out, but when if I saw on Rotten Tomatoes Empire Strikes Back, greatest movie ever made, I wouldn't wink an eye at it because it matters personally on the moviegoer's opinion.
Well,
What
you
they
never
want
even
to see.
seen Star Wars, so.
Okay, that's not the point. But it's it matters on the moviegoer's opinion, not what the critics say, because even like I mean, sometimes they agree with you. Of Infinity War was an amazing movie. I think it deserved a little higher than they gave it, and then we agreed. If they trashed Venom and I enjoyed Venom, that's their opinion and that's my opinion. It's just I love movies to death, so I'm going to watch whatever I want, pretty much.
Yeah. Interesting you bring that up because I think that pretty much sums up my problem with them taking down the interest level score in movies, because movies are obviously subjective. Like a movie can be objectively bad, but subjectively, on your own, you can be like, I like, even though it's bad, I like the movie. Like it's one of those things. It's very subjective. So I think expressing opinion and uh, considering each other's opinion is really good. And if somebody just tries to shut down the opinion, I feel like that's wrong. Like that they shouldn't do that. And for a website that aggregate scores of everybody, so everybody's opinion should matter. That's what
It's
I
mainly
think.
built on opinions. Rotten Tomatoes has been built on
Exactly.
opinions for years.
Exactly. Oh my God, Cam, the genius, man. Exactly. Ziggler.
I read critics all the time. I read their opinions on the film. Sometimes I agree with them. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes if a critic I respect and like say a movie's bad, I don't see the movie sometimes. But other times I do. Because if it's like a really like if it's like a movie like I'm like so and it gets a bad review, I'm probably not going to see it. But if it's a movie I really want to see and it gets a bad review like Venom, I'm still going to see it. And like The Upside, I'm still going to see it. So
Yeah. So yeah, just something to bring up because this was kind of a mini news today. I mean, not today, pretty much this whole week. All right, so with that, we'll move on to our second topic. We're gonna talk. We're actually we have a bonus review today. We're gonna review Fighting with My Family. But before we review Fighting with My Family, I am gonna talk about a biopic that's already in work. So 2 weeks ago, Hollywood Reporter tweeted out that Chris Hemsworth signed on to play Hulk Hogan in a biopic that's going to be produced by Netflix. Hulk Hogan himself, Eric Bischoff, and Bradley Cooper, who's of course rumored to be playing Vince McMahon in his own biopic. So,
That's
so
so
I
cool.
yeah,
How far is it gonna go? That's the real question.
true. And I feel like this is a very interesting development as maybe Hollywood looks at Fighting with My Family, which has a very high audience and critic score, and goes, you know what? Maybe there's something to this wrestling biopic genre that they can bring out some great stories with. So I think it's very interesting. I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Ziggler, you can go first.
I really do not want to see a Hulk Hogan movie, but when it comes out, I'm most likely going to see it.
Brother.
Oh. I can't really see Chris Hemsworth as Hulk Hogan. It's going to be funny as hell to see him rock that Hulk Hogan hairstyle and that mustache.
Oh, jeez.
And he's going to need to bulk the fuck up, too, for the role of Hulk Hogan. So
Yeah.
he's already built as fuck, but Hulk Hogan's
He's
like
lean, very
fucking,
lean.
Yeah, he's very
Chiseled.
lean.
Unless
He
he's
needs
trying to be
bulk up.
90s Hogan.
Oh, 90s
He's really
Hogan.
small
Oh my
and
god.
slim.
But also I wonder if they're gonna show him taking steroids in the movie.
That'd be funny as hell.
They
with
won't,
all that shit.
So the rumor currently is that it's gonna be mainly the rise of Hulkamania back in the mid 80s. So it's gonna probably
That
be the
was
story of
steroid
how.
pumping then.
Yeah, so I guess it's gonna be the story of how they got to WrestleMania 1, which was of course a very huge event back then, and still is.
I would much rather see a Chris Benoit movie, to be honest. I really want to see
I
that.
thought that was
there was
rumored.
rumors
Whoa.
with Liv Schreiber
rumors for years.
portraying, Benoit, and I really wanted to see that, but they didn't do it.
All right, Ziggler, let's not get blacklisted before we even make it to the before we make it to the YouTube mainstream.
I like Benoit. He's a great wrestler, one of the best.
True. Yeah,
Okay.
agreed.
It's just the
Hound?
stuff he did.
Yeah, whatever. Hound, you're up.
Chris Hemsworth is such a weird choice. If I could pick like 1,000 actors to play Hulk Hogan, he probably wouldn't be on that list because it's such a weird choice. Like I don't know. I'm just glad it's happening, and I'm just glad it's gonna be on Netflix. So yeah, I'm totally gonna watch it.
All right, sounds good. And Shawn?
Like y'all said, I don't know why they picked Chris Hemsworth to play Hulk Hogan. I mean, maybe with the Fu Manchu mustache, I could see it, but the size and the hair, like the balding haircut and and just the voice, like, and the size of his body, like, because before he went to WCW, Hulk Hogan was just big, like huge, just like giant. And then when he went to WCW, he actually got trimmed and lean, and like he actually looked like legit, like shredded. And before he was just muscly, just literally like walking muscles. And I don't know I don't know why they're doing this, and they have so many different options for better or whatever you call it. I think I said that right.
Biopic.
Biopic.
Biopics.
They could do so many better
I think it comes
stories.
down to kind of name recognizability, and plus Hogan
Yeah.
himself is pushing for this movie, so
Also, I
Yeah.
wanted to point out that the director and writer
Todd
of the
Phillips.
Joker, Todd Phillips, he
Yeah.
is directing
was
this
gonna
movie,
mention
which
that.
is gonna
Thank
be
you.
weird.
Thank you, Ziggler.
That's cool.
I mean, like I'm not totally like just trashing it. Like I'm not gonna see it. Me and Ziggler are probably gonna see it. Like watch it on Netflix together. But like it's just a weird concept. I mean, I guess Hulk Hogan's the most recognizable. Like anybody who doesn't know, like, oh, I don't watch wrestling. Do you know who Hulk Hogan is? Oh yeah, Hulk Hogan. Like,
Are you sure it's gonna be on Netflix?
yeah.
Netflix does have the they are the ones getting the producing rights to the movie.
Did you hear about that Motley Crue Netflix movie?
No.
No, did not. No.
Oh, Shawn, we have to watch that.
Oh, we will.
It's
Oh,
not-
Motley Crue.
I think it's an already made movie just going on Netflix.
Yeah, it's coming out
Off
like in a few
topic.
months.
Off
Yeah,
topic,
I
you
heard
guys.
about it.
Jeez, I didn't even get to
Should actually
finish my
be
point.
interesting.
My final
All right.
point is, it's gonna be interesting. Thank you.
Interesting. Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
all you have to say?
Yes, I wanted to
You're
finish.
all...
Did I already get to Cam or not yet?
No, we didn't.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Cam.
How could you forget Cam?
Sorry. No, I was just making
Like,
sure.
I'm just so quiet. That's why you
I'm
forget
just
about
like,
me.
Yeah, go ahead, Cam.
Hemsworth feels extremely out of place being Hogan, but I don't know if he's going to actually bulk up because pre-92 Hogan was ripped beyond belief. I don't know how far it'll go. I don't know if they'll see. I don't know if we'll see him actually taking steroids or
He's gonna need to
denying
get
it.
that Shazam padding.
Right.
I think he gets paid millions, so like he can theoretically bulk up to the max for this movie. I think that's a possibility. I think that's no problem.
I mean, I'm looking at a picture of Hogan in the NWO, and it looks like about Hemsworth could get that big. I mean, they would have to like edit it maybe, or just he'd actually have to just get a little bit bigger. But
I
if
think
they're
that's
doing
no
it
We have
problem.
the
CGI
rise of-
now.
Yeah, if they're
It
doing
wasn't
the
done.
rise of Hulkamania, that's way. Hemsworth is very tiny compared to how Hogan looked.
Yeah.
At.
The final point I want to make about this movie is Bradley Cooper is, of course, going to be one of the producers on the movie. And, of course, Todd Phillips and Bradley Cooper have a great working relationship, from the Hangover movies and all that. So I feel like there is a chance Bradley Cooper can be announced as Vince McMahon in the movie. I think there's a real chance because that was a strong rumor a few years ago. So I would like to see that.
I still have some points to make.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Cam.
It should be an interesting watch, but what I do like is that thanks to the Page movie coming out, Hollywood is thinking, there's actually something about this wrestling thing. It's
Right,
not
exactly.
just Ready to Rumble and
Ready
Santa
to
with
Rumble is an amazing
muscles.
movie. You watch your mouth.
Yeah, I actually.
It's not just Ready to Rumble, Santa with muscles, and No Holds Barred. You can actually
like
do
Goofy.
something with it, like with The Wrestler, with Mickey Rourke, or Fighting with My Family.
The Wrestler was an amazing movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see Hollywood being taken aback by how successful Fighting with My Family is doing critically. So yeah.
Yeah, we've got about at least 3 wrestling movies right now. A movie about Vince, one about Hulk Hogan, and then one about Chris Benoit.
The Benoit
Legit.
one is not. The Benoit
Not
one is
happening.
It's not happening unless WWE says
They're
so.
not gonna make a Benoit movie. The rumor was they were gonna have a documentary about athletes who have gone insane, and Benoit was gonna be in it, but it's not gonna be like a movie about him because they're not
There's
gonna
a
do one
movie
about
called
a murderer.
Crossface. It's all about Benoit.
Hold
I
on.
That was probably just a
about it.
fan-made picture, fan-made poster.
Yeah, but
There are movies about murderers.
okay.
Okay.
We're not gonna
That was that
The
Netflix
movie,
show.
the movie
That was
Foxcatcher. The movie
that-
Foxcatcher is a
that
true
was a really
story.
awkward silence. There's a movie about murderers.
Well, you
Silence.
just said it won't make a movie about a murderer, and there's hundreds and thousands of movies about murderers,
Well,
dude.
Yeah,
They're making a
Ted.
there's a fucking Ted Bundy movie coming
Okay,
out.
all
Yeah,
right.
so it's gonna be Shawn and Ziggler reviewing a Fighting with My Family. So
We meet again.
yeah. So all right, Ziggler, you can go ahead with your review first.
I guess it was a good movie for like movie fans, but I don't think it was good for wrestling fans because I was lost because I know like Paige's like career and they like did not do a good job skipping through her WWE career. And that little chuckle though. My favorite character was Nick Frost. He played Paige's dad. He did a great job. He was funny as hell. Also, I love Vince Vaughn in the movie, and it's funny how The Rock is like in all the promotional posters, and he's like in like probably like 5 minutes of it. The movie was fine, I guess. I was just hating on it a lot, but now looking
Don't
back
forget
at
the inconsistency of the stages that they made that were, did you notice that? It's not
Wait,
really a
what?
spoiler. This is not a spoiler. It's just they shown it in the trailers how they used the 18 new stages, and they would like when that wasn't even, and they would use a lot of like the current like. This is not a spoiler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
so
he
showed
even show her winning the NXT title?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I hated that in
I
the
don't think
trailer.
they actually used the NXT arena for her.
They didn't.
They showed the
They did like a house show
new logo
NXT.
when she didn't even go into WWE with the new logo. It was a bunch of shit. But
Also, they didn't like show like any of the other like women's wrestlers. It was part of like the women's evolution. They just pretty much like give it all to Paige or whatever.
they made
No Becky, no Charlotte.
Yeah, she was like the only like women's wrestler, and the other ones, she was like they're saying
Models.
like all the other ones are like models and cheerleaders, and she was like the only women's wrestler there. I'm like, no, that's not how that story went.
I personally thought it was a good movie, like Ziggler said, like for movie fans. But being a wrestling fan, it was kind of like, okay, you're getting a lot of shit wrong. But like the Vince Vaughn was my favorite part because Vince Vaughn is one of my favorite actors too, and it was kind of weird seeing him in like a WWE kind of role and having him say like heel and babyface. I was kind of like, okay, this is kind of weird, but like the thing that bothered me was also how they casted, and this is not a spoiler. This is like there's picture proof how they casted Zelina Vega as AJ Lee, but they didn't put her in AJ Lee's gear. They had her in Zelina Vega's gear, which
I
is
think
really
there's actually a reason for it. Like AJ owns the likeness to it, but WWE owns like the Love Bites logos and stuff.
Also,
Yeah.
Selena Vega sounds a
Makes
lot
sense.
like AJ Lee in that movie.
Yeah, that was so
Yes.
crazy when they like first started shooting it, when people like leaking it for like the fans.
Yeah. It was like it just was weird seeing it like not in AJ gear. I thought that was just kind of awkward, and but other than that, like the story, I found myself like getting into it, and I was like, I know what's gonna happen because we know Paige's story, but I was like, this is a good movie, and her dad Nick Frost was funny as hell. The story between I think the actor who played Paige like was a good match, um, and like everything about it was pretty solid. So I'd give it like a solid like A minus.
But we gotta do it the points way. So we
Oh,
can,
oh.
yeah.
What's an A minus in points?
Oh,
like 8
that's
points.
9,
Probably
I
like a
guess.
9.
That's
Yeah,
a 9.
8.5 or 9.
That's a
I give
9.
it
Yeah.
8.5 because some parts of it I work like how they use the current logo when the time she got
Historical
hired was scrapped.
inaccuracies.
Yeah, the continuity was kind of
Like there's
stupid.
no continuities, but
Yeah.
Because
It's
they
more.
like
It's
like
more
there's
messed up than the
WrestleMania
Fox
30 and
X-Men
the
continuity.
biggest continuity error, and this is not like a spoiler because they showed um the night she debuted on Raw, like they would just flash like things from the episode, and so they had Cena's Titantron playing on the current stage, and then they flashed it at the episode where he's on a different stage, and the whole thing's like completely off, and I was like, wait, what? But like
the logos are different. That stage
Also,
is
I wanted to
different.
state during the movie, like, they're like showing like John Cena's entrance, and he was like going like down like the entrance, and his theme song was playing, and then you cut backstage, and his theme song is still playing, and like, all right, Paige, you're up, and like, wait, she's having a match with John Cena. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, I saw that.
Like,
too.
how is she up? Like, you're up in 2 minutes. Like, what the fuck? John Cena just went out there.
And also,
Music is still playing.
Wait.
not a spoiler. They had a lot of like just penis jokes, which
Like,
didn't.
I don't remember a John Cena or Paige segment. Was there one?
No.
There never was one.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, what the fuck are you telling her she's up?
Stop rushing her, damn it.
Also, oh yeah.
Wait,
Also,
what's Ziggler's final score?
I would give it probably. There was a lot of really historical inconsistencies, and the continuity was bad. It was just. I would just like get angry with it since it was like not following like the career of like. All right. So I'll give it probably a 6.5 out of 10.
6.5. Sounds good.
And the low.
That's being a little generous.
That's a Hound type of reference.
Okay, so final review for Fighting with My Family from W.M.S.T is 7.5 out of 10.
Damn.
That's a decent score.
Yeah, makes sense. Like maybe wrestling fans didn't find the continuity that good, so it makes sense from a
Maybe
I
wrestling
was
fan.
just cringing at it a lot too. It was really
Yeah, I
funny, really,
cringed
to
a
me.
little bit too. I think I turned off my wrestling mind and just.
I also got really cringy when they were keeping like calling them divas, like Divas Champion. I never really liked the Divas
Like-
name anyways.
And
Like,
the
I
amount
hated that name. That's a
of-
buzzword. Like superstar.
True.
I hate when they call them superstars, man. I fucking hate that.
the amount of
Like-
penis jokes they made were kind of cringy too.
Oh yeah, dude, they made so many penis jokes. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
The theater didn't laugh once at the penis jokes.
I think they only laughed when Oh wait, they didn't laugh. Never mind.
They only laughed when Nick Frost was beating that guy with the bowling ball and the trash can.
Yo,
Okay,
what?
stop
That's a
spoiling
spoiler.
Oh wait, hold on. We gotta cut that.
That's
out 'cause, like,
literally in the trailer, dude.
No,
is
it's
it?
not.
Okay,
In the
I never
commercials,
saw the
too.
trailers that much, so yeah. Okay,
Spoiler alert.
yeah, no,
Not
just-
really. It was in the trailer, dude. Watch the
No,
fucking
it's
trailer.
not.
Yes,
It's
it
in the
is.
commercials.
Exactly.
No.
Dude,
Okay,
Hound, are you blind?
it's fine.
No.
It's it's
Next
okay. It's cool.
topic. Let's do the next topic.
Yeah.
Are you blind and stupid? Come on, man.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, let's move on to our next subtopic.
Sorry, Hound, I love you.
We love you, Han. All right.
Oh, thanks.
So we had two really big returns this week. Of course, we had Roman Reigns returning, announcing his leukemia is in remission, which is great news. He was able to recover in time for WrestleMania, which I know it's very special to him. So congrats to Reigns. Very happy to hear him recovering and coming back. And of course, we had the big return of Drax himself, Batista, attacking Ric Flair before him coming out for his birthday celebration.
Endgame freaking spoiled. I can't
Okay,
believe
hold
it.
on. We're not
He's
talking
back.
about Endgame right now.
No, because Batista, who plays Drax, is alive.
Okay, no. Hold
Okay.
on. Stay on topic.
Cut.
So yeah, really big returns. So I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on these returns. We'll go with Cam first.
It was actually quite a surprise to see Reigns come back. I mean, I was thinking, well, he might not be back for Mania. He might be gone for like, I don't know, a year or 2 years maybe. But surprise, surprise, here he is making a comeback. And for the people that actually don't think, oh, the cancer's fake, no, it isn't. He's been living with it for 11 years. When he said it's in remission, means that he can take a break from the treatment as long as it doesn't grow again. And it takes like 5 years to get cured from it. So it's great to see him again. He was kind of the one thing that held Raw together. But what does he do? What does he do now? I mean, I don't expect him to get involved in the Lesnar Rollins title match anytime soon.
Well,
Yeah.
Vince
As-
might do that, well, like he did with Charlotte and Owens.
Yeah, apparently
Like,
everyone makes
unless he
out
wants
the
death
triple
threats in
threat.
his DMs, don't do it. Meanwhile, on to Batista. I was actually expecting them to actually next level the hell out of the Becky Lynch push by having Becky be the one to jump Rick, like have Becky jump out of a giant cake, or
Yeah, I
have
think
her
everyone
like
was
come
expecting
out
that.
and just like have her come out and jump him.
I would
But it
love to
turns
see
out
Becky
nope.
jump out of a cake.
But it turns out nope, it's Batista. It was a pleasant surprise, and I'm really glad to see him again.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually fine with it. I actually kind of want to see the match with Hunter now.
Oh yeah, true. I think that's gonna be epic. Yeah, definitely. All right, Ziggler, you're up.
I am really happy that Roman Reigns is in remission. Like, that is great news. That's great to hear. I do not think his cancer was fake, like some people. It was great to see him return. It was great to see that fucking pop when he said, "I'm in remission, y'all." That was one of the loudest pops he probably ever got in his career. And it was just great to see everyone cheer for him, but don't know how long that's gonna last. Um,
It'll last a couple weeks, give or take.
Could you
with that
imagine
being said, I am not thrilled for his return. I don't want him to be in any Universal or WWE World Heavyweight Championship title matches. Maybe like the Intercontinental title picture is fine, I guess, but I really don't want to see him near that Universal main event spot. So
Not yet, at least.
what?
Not yet, at least.
Yeah, not yet at least. Like not so soon. Like I want let Rollins have his Universal
It's bound to
title run.
happen, but we just don't know when.
Yeah, I know, but not yet. Just I want Rollins to have a good Universal title run after Mania. And
If he wins.
he's most likely gonna win. He fucking better, I swear to God. On the Batista, I was shocked. His return was pretty cool, but it was kind of cringy when he said, "Huh?" Like all loud and shit. I was like,
laughed
oh,
a little.
well, damn. Like it was like cool. Like
well, stay
the
back.
first line was like, the first line was badass. Like, do I have your attention now, Hunter? And then like, oh yeah, that's badass. And he was like, oh, I was like, oh, you ruined it. Yeah, he ruined that one line with that, huh? But other than that, it was dope as fuck. And also, Ric Flair was red as hell.
How many times we gotta teach you this lesson, old man?
I love the young people.
Bob.
Oh man. Hound, you're up.
I think it is like really nice to see Roman back. Like I don't know why I'm not really shocked that he's back this soon. It's just like it kind of just feels weird that he is back. It's pretty cool, and I wouldn't be surprised if like after Mania, Roman starts getting boos again, and then Vince is like, "Damn, my plan didn't work." I'm joking.
Got
Okay.
Okay, yeah, just cut it out. It's not like good, but like I am really excited for the Batista Triple H match. I thought that was like a nice build where you see Batista dragging the cameraman, and then he knocks on Ric Flair's door, beats him up, drags Ric Flair back, and says, "Do I have your attention now, Hunter?" Because Batista's been like saying on Twitter, "Oh, WWE hasn't been answering my phone calls. Oh, I want to return, but WWE won't let me." It's like all come together.
I don't think they won't let him. He said he didn't want to go back at first.
No, I think they probably had this match planned since like SmackDown 1000, and like all those tweets will probably like
Batista's been wanting to come back to WWE for years now, so. And Triple H was ghosting him. Triple H was just ghosting him. He was just like
that's what
ignoring
not
him.
to do in a relationship, friends.
Yeah, because you know from firsthand experience.
Thank you.
But yeah, I feel like I also feel like we might see a Shield triple threat match, maybe like one last time since Dean's leaving, maybe to like make the fans happy. Like maybe the start of the show is Seth Rollins,
You mean a team
Dean
up or
Ambrose,
triple threat?
like a team up with the
Oh,
Shield.
you said triple
Maybe
threat first.
maybe
Yeah.
against the Wyatt family if they can somehow scrounge
We
that
got that at
together.
Battleground.
Or
I
maybe
forgot
or
about
maybe
that.
it will
Elimination Chamber.
be maybe it will
Yeah,
be
Chamber
Bobby
14.
Lashley and Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman or whatever the team is. So, yeah.
That's
Baron
probably
Corbin.
gonna happen.
Oh yeah, Baron Corbin. But yeah, I feel like the Shield will definitely have a presence at Mania before the
Ooh.
Rollins Brock match.
Oh, interesting. So
That's
you're
all.
saying they're gonna
presence.
pull double, like Ron's gonna be in 2 matches, or I think I didn't get that.
Yeah,
They're probably
Just like
gonna do
Daniel
the Shield
Bryan
team up at
WrestleMania
Fastlane.
30.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that makes more sense to me. Team
They're
up at
gonna,
Fastlane,
yeah, they're
and
probably
then
gonna do it at Fastlane. They're gonna announce it this week at Raw.
yeah, it makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
probably.
all right, Shawn, you're up.
I am like not. I don't know how the proper way to word this. I am not a Roman Reigns fan, but when he announced he got cancer, of course I feel terrible. I don't like the character of Roman Reigns, but I think Joe Anoa'i is a very classy man, a very nice man with the Make-A-Wish stuff and being support and like working hard in his career, overcoming diseases and stuff. I just don't like the character of Roman Reigns. Um, when I found out when we all found out he had leukemia, of course that's crushing. I mean, anyone who has to give up their job, especially because of cancer, is so terrible. I think anyone who says the cancer was fake is a fucking moron because can you imagine the backlash and the utmost how WWE would be ruined if somehow it got out that they planned to fake his cancer after on a national scale all over the place they were reporting that Roman Reigns has cancer, big star, and they faked it.
WWE would be
Company
ruined.
can't. A company can't be that low on ideas to fake
it
a life-threatening
especially
disease.
on that personal of a thing. It's and people saying, "Oh, he looks so fine after." There's different types of leukemia that have different types of effects and different types of treatment. It's a way different. It's not like usual thing if someone is diagnosed with a really terrible cancer and their hair is falling out and stuff. He must have. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like we don't know. I mean, he looks like he responded to his treatment well. I'm beyond happy he's back because I'm a human being. I don't want to see another human being who I like as a person to have cancer. I don't like the character Roman Reigns, but Joanna, why I feel terrible for that he has that, and I'm very happy he's healthy. That pop he had when he did the ooh-ah and the spear was fucking dope. Um, and it felt cool to see him back too. And it was a little weird seeing Raw without Reigns because I'm always used to seeing him there, and he's a fantastic wrestler. I just don't like the character of it. So it's like how to word that correctly because I didn't want to say like
Yeah.
something bad. But
Yeah, we got you. Yeah, no problem.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then Batista coming back. I'm a big Batista fan, and I've always have been, and I'm very happy he's back. I don't know why he's a heel in this matter because in the SmackDown 1000 match, he's like this.
I don't think he's
this
a heel.
I mean, he attacked Ric Flair.
Ric Flair.
Yeah, I know,
On
but
his
if
birthday.
Becky Lynch would have attacked Ric Flair, she wouldn't have been a heel. She would
Well,
have
it's
been like a
it's
badass. Triple H is the
Yeah,
heel in this
weird as
instance.
I mean, yeah.
The authority or the heels
I think just
regardless.
yeah, Triple H is like a heel, like in the authority. Batista's like this badass because everybody cheered Batista, man.
Yeah, okay,
I think-
then that's
Wouldn't
true.
you,
I
I think
kind of
it's-
thought he turned
Like if Becky Lynch would have done the same thing, everybody still would have cheered for her, and she'll still be a face.
Well, I thought
Well-
Batista, since he attacked his mentor Ric Flair, I thought that made him a heel,
Right.
but I get what you're saying.
We're
Yeah.
Yeah,
probably-
but he said like, "Do I have your attention now, Hunter?" And like that, like means like that to me means
Yeah,
like they're
I
gonna
get
do like
you.
a storyline with like Triple H was like ignoring and ghosting him, and like
Yeah.
they're gonna like make that into like a storyline.
Yeah, I get you. It, like, 'cause you've been ghosting me because you know you can't beat me or something like that. But
Yeah.
I think it was awesome. He's back. I think he looks great. I think it's going to be an awesome story for WrestleMania. It's going to be refreshing, and I think this is leading to his retirement. Possibly both of them, or mainly Batista, because I think he is. He even said he doesn't know how much longer he can go, and he wants to go out one final time. And this is a good story for a one last final badass old school Batista run. Not like how he came back at the wrong place at the wrong time in 2014 in the middle of the Yes movement that really just ruined his debut. Because when he came back then, it was awesome to see Batista back. I was really happy, but they tried pushing him in a spot where Daniel Bryan was up and coming, so it totally just trashed it. I mean, we had the Evolution reunion and stuff, but um, I think he's in a good spot right now, and this should be very interesting.
Yeah, sounds good. And to what Ziggler was saying about I think about the Becky attacking Flair instead of Batista. I think it's a matter of perspective. Because Becky is a different character, Batista is different. So I think that's very
Yeah, but
interesting.
both Becky and Batista are badass as hell.
Exactly. So I guess it depends. Some might look at it as a badass moment. Some might look at it as like a heel moment. So it's a matter
They
of
both
perspective.
wear leather jackets and skinny jeans, so.
Well,
At least Becky
that's a
looks
good
I
good
one.
in
looked I,
skinny
I looked
jeans.
at it as a badass moment because we were all expecting. I think everyone was all expecting Becky to attack Ric Flair, and we still would have loved her after that.
Yeah, very
And
interesting.
that
Yeah.
would have been a badass
I,
moment.
I
And
just thought since he the way he did it, like he forced the cameraman to see it. He went into the room and the way he
yeah,
slammed
because
the
to
door
get
and he
to
dragged him
get to
out by
Hunter,
his neck.
he
Yeah, that's
wanted to
true.
Right.
make Hunter
So
mad.
it's very interesting. Very interesting.
I mean, we'll find out
Opinion. Yeah.
I
next
mean, it
week on
wasn't.
Raw.
He probably just used Ric Flair just to get to Hunter. He didn't want to attack Ric Flair, but it was that's the closest thing. Fuck it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how the story plays out. It's going to be interesting. With that, we're going to move on to topic number 3. So for this topic, I have a movie topic and then I have a few TV subtopics. So let's just start with this movie topic. We had Dark Phoenix, X-Men Dark Phoenix's second trailer, and a new Hellboy trailer. So I'm gonna get you guys' opinion on which trailers you guys like better and which what you thought overall of the trailers. So we'll start with Ziggler.
About the Hellboy trailer.
Yeah, both trailers. What did you think,
Oh.
and which one did you like better?
I love the Hellboy trailer a lot better. The Hellboy trailer it looked so fucking badass. I mean, I can't say any more great things about it. I heard some people didn't like it. I have no idea why. I think this showed a lot more of David Harbour, I think is his name, as Hellboy, and he looks like is gonna be a good portrayal of him. So I cannot wait for that. And with the Dark Phoenix, I think they give away way too much in that trailer. I mean, they unless that's not the real spoiler, they're just playing us I'm guessing you all know what I'm talking about. I don't want to say here just in case it's a
Yeah,
major
true.
spoiler. So
I
unless they're
agree with you. Yeah.
unless they're double crossing us, they're playing us, that's not really it. But if it really is what we think it is, that was way too much to put in there, the Doomsday thing and BVS trailer.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
No,
Yeah.
that's worse than the BVS. They completely spoiled a whole big part of the movie. Like, jeez. They really don't want people seeing this movie. First, they released the trailer, online at 12 a.m. when everyone was by bed already.
I was still
Really?
up, so I watched it.
They really
Alright.
don't care about Dark Phoenix anymore.
Okay. Hound, you can go ahead. Actually, I was gonna go.
I thought otherwise. I thought the trailer was nice. Loved the part of Quicksilver running on those pieces of debris while Jean Grey's just staring at him. I thought that was a cool part. And the trailer ended with the whole train wreck scene. and I hope the movie is not the same.
Oh,
As
Uh,
for Hellboy is pretty dope. I'm excited. I really like I really like how different it is compared to the 2004 version, where like the face part is different, the jacket is like kind of different, the hands. Like I am really excited, and like there's more things in this movie than in the first movie.
oh, very interesting. Shawn, go ahead.
I like the Hellboy trailer way more than the Dark Phoenix trailer because I at first was very hesitant about this new Hellboy because I really do love the Hellboy movies growing up were a big part of my life because I went through a lot of phases. Like I was like as a kid, like Shrek was my guy, then Fantastic Four, and yeah, Shrek was literally my
Awesome.
inspiration, and then Fantastic Four, Indiana Jones, and then Hellboy
Yo,
was
me
a
too.
big part in it.
That's
And
an interesting move. Those are interesting movies.
that's interesting.
thank you. That's not the exact order, but you know what I mean. So so then the second trailer, seeing how different it is, and and seeing how it's going to be rated R seems really cool. I'm kind of indifferent on his face. I think it looks just more demonic than how in the other one it looked more human like. So this brings to more like he's an actual demon. The parts of him with his
He's
horns.
half demon.
Yes, thank you.
I really like his face more because you can really see like more of his beard. He kind of seems like more grizzled dude. It's not
The first Hellboy seems more like an old, like veteran of fighting. This guy seems like a younger, more badass, more like exciting, and it does. And this definitely changed my whole
I
opinion
think
on
it's the opposite for me.
this.
Also, I wanted to point out that the director of this movie, Neil Marshall, he directs two of the best Game of Thrones episodes, The Watchers of the Wall and Blackwater. So I'm really stoked for this movie right now because he is directing it.
Yeah, I mean, you got the director, and you got like a whole new story, new characters. That like werewolf guy, who I think is a new kind of replacing how Abe Sapien was. I don't know if you guys remember that, but how Abe Sapien, like the fish guy, like
Wait,
now
they're
he's like a
replacing
wolf
him?
guy. No, it's like kind of like a newer. It's like that's like this version of his like right hand man.
Abe Sapien better be in the movie because he looked dope.
I don't think he is, but
He better,
like
or I'm a sue.
this trailer was good to turn me around on what I think about the movie. How now I'm really excited about this movie. As for Dark Phoenix, I think they did give away a lot, like the major spoiler. Dot dot dot. Like um, I'm interested. I'm definitely very interested. I think it looks great. It's going to be very intense, and so yeah, I like the Hellboy dramatic. Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, Cam, go ahead.
Both movies do look promising. I watched a little bit of the Hellboy trailer. It looks amazing. I'm really hyped to see it. Uh, I kind of grew up on the '04 one, but I don't really have that much experience on the Hellboy. But I do hope to see a lot of good stuff from it. Dark Phoenix, on the other hand, it was the one trailer that I actually haven't seen, but I do hope that there's good things from it.
Okay, sounds good. That's actually the opposite for me. I haven't seen the Hellboy trailer yet, but I have seen the Dark Phoenix trailer. And other than the fact that maybe they gave away too much, I wanted to just break down the trailer itself. Like I felt like they're going in a very dark tone for the movie. They're like all in on the dark tone, which
Well, it's
isn't a
called
bit
Dark Phoenix, so it's better.
right.
They're not giving a light, happy tone.
Like even more menacing than the Last Stand. So I think that's okay because if they can keep the tone the same and like make the characters go in a direction where it makes sense, I think this can be a surprise hit in this year. So
Also,
I,
it looks like Hellboy's going in a darker tone too, with like the more like demonic shit, like scary images and shit. Because it's rated R now, so that's I think that's a really good.
Yeah,
for
whenever Hellboy says fuck now, it's gonna be amazing.
that. I know, right?
Yeah, but yeah, for overall for the Dark Phoenix, that
He better be fucking some demonic chick in that movie.
Okay.
They better not change the rating like they did with Venom.
No,
Yeah.
the Venom, they never like.
No, it's way too late to change it now. They already had a Red Band trailer. It's
The
too late.
MPAA rating is already rated R, so don't worry about that.
Oh yeah, that's good. But yeah, but for me though, I feel like Dark Phoenix could be a surprise hit. I feel like it has the elements to be a unique take on the X-Men. Even though it's a rehash of an old story, I feel like a twist at the end or something drastic that can happen. I think it can persuade the audience to like it even more. I think there's a chance.
Yeah,
This can
but
be a
there's a
hit.
twist at the end of Dark Phoenix. We're not going to see the outcome of it because we're not going to see those characters again.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing. Like if you just isolate the movie by itself, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It can be a surprise hit. That's all I think about it. So yeah.
Also, Cam, do yourself a favor and do not watch Dark Phoenix trailer. It is spoiler heavy.
All right,
I
Ben.
All right. So moving on.
My job easier.
Yeah. So the next few subtopics. So they're gonna be lighter topics. So first, I wanted to talk about something that I wanted to bring up like in the first few episodes, but I didn't get time to. So the question for me to you guys is streaming taking over network television? Now, I don't know about you guys, but like just maybe 5 years ago, I used to watch a lot of TV on on network television. I didn't used to like stream Netflix or Hulu or whatever. Now it's like whatever I need to watch is I'm doing it on my phone, either through my Xfinity app or whatever, or through Netflix. So I wanted to ask you guys, is streaming taking over, normal network television? So we're gonna go with Cam first.
1,000 times yes, actually. Mainly because my father is actually starting to trying to move away from cable and wants to use like streaming stuff like using Fire Stick and Android players. The thing is, he wants his sports on it, but I've been seeing it for years now, especially with WWE. Their ratings are very low, mainly due to the fact that people stream the show rather than watch it on USA. They're also in the streaming game with the network. I mainly am streaming. Just sometimes I use a Fire Stick to watch stuff. I don't really use Netflix because I don't really have a subscription to it. I had it for like a month, but I used it. I also used the network. But
Yeah,
yes, streaming is actually taking over network television.
that's where the future is, according to you. So, and now we're gonna go with Hound.
Yes, it definitely is taking over. 10, 15 years, cable TV is gonna be like no more, and I, I I would love to like cut the cord like right now. Like a big thing for me is like WWE. Like it's just like for me like I just have to watch WWE like every Monday, every Tuesday, whatever, and they still don't have like live shows or or old episodes of like Raw and SmackDown, like newish episodes, like after they air on the network.
Yeah, they do.
It's like a month after they air.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's still a month. Like it needs to be a little closer to that.
You
'Cause,
can
like, if
catch it on Hulu. On Hulu, it's like a
do,
day after.
I do have
And
the
even then, it's
USA
trimmed.
app. I do have the USA app, but I'm still waiting for the USA app or like or sorry, I'm blabbering a lot, but like the CW app, because I watch all the CW shows. I watch The Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, all of those shows, and I'm waiting for them to be on for the app to be on PlayStation, so I can have more incentive to cut the cord. Because when I move into my apartment, I don't want to pay for cable TV because that's gonna be like too much like expensive. So like yeah, I feel like cable TV is going out. Streaming is the future. get ready now. Just make sure you got all your streaming stuff ready. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Ziggler, you're up.
Blockbuster, Hollywood
about to say that.
Video. Do you know any of those? Well, that was my goddamn
Real OGs
childhood.
remember.
Yeah,
That
real.
was my
I mean, I
goddamn
remember.
childhood, and I miss it. I miss it so much. But I gotta admit, I do love streaming services. I've had Netflix for over probably like 5-6 years now. I don't even know if it's been around that long. So, yeah, I love streaming services. I love the network, Hulu, Netflix, you name it. I got it probably. Oh yeah, also UFC.
Oh my.
I think the UFC should do streaming services like they already do with Fight Pass, but I think like just like WWE like with they have their pay-per-views like streaming live on the network. I think UFC should do that too. So I would really
WWE still does pay-per-view, like has pay-per-view channels also. Like I remember watching
I know.
Evolution, and it actually said that you can actually buy the thing for like $50. It's like, oh, it's a pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, yeah, and UFC only has the pay-per-view, which you have to pay like $70 for, which I still do. But it should be like on like the UFC Fight Pass, and it should be like $10.99, and you can just like watch it like the network. So I wish that would happen, but unfortunately, it is streaming services are here. I love my streaming services, but I really do miss Blockbuster and like Hollywood Video. I would give anything to go back in a time machine just to walk around a Blockbuster store again. I would give anything.
Out of everything in a time machine, that's what you would do.
Dude, Blockbuster, yes, Blockbuster was my fucking childhood. That was my favorite place to go on the
You
weekends,
wouldn't go
man.
to like WrestleMania.
Besides a GameStop.
I
hear that
don't.
they're
I
starting
never
to go
heard
out
of
of
a
business.
GameStop. What's a GameStop? No, fucking Blockbuster and Hollywood Video is my childhood, dude. I fucking lived there.
Oh, yeah, that's very interesting. Shawn, go ahead.
Like Ziggler said, like how we transitioned from blockbusters to Netflix, and now we're cable TV is going to just streaming services. It's quite the big change. It's gonna be weird because I still like cable TV, you know. Like because sometimes streaming services like the network can shut down and then you can't watch it because you don't have Wi-Fi or something, or you don't have the connection. And I always love the instant gratification of just putting the DVD in and it just plays no matter what. You don't have to wait for the connection. You don't have to wait for something. So it's kind of sad seeing that DVDs are becoming obsolete and nobody's really they're going out and out of style really slowly until eventually, like I'd say in 20 years from now, we're probably DVDs are going to be very rare, and we're just
Yeah,
gonna
everybody's just gonna have 4K Ultra HDs and Blu-rays.
no, you know what I mean? DVDs like the disc.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
they're
like,
scratches.
I still
Yeah.
collect 4K Ultras, so and
I mean,
Blu-rays. So
I'm not talking about like I'm talking about like disc playing versus streaming online.
yeah, I know. I still collect disc. I don't like the online movies. I never buy them, so I just buy the
That's what
the
we mean
disc.
by
Like
like
another
streaming.
example, for it. Video games are doing the same thing also. I still
Yeah.
collect discs compared to having them actual
digital.
digital.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy collecting. Like, I think it's fun. Like we used to collect wrestling trading cards. Now I collect movies. Like, cause I'm a huge movie fan, and when like sometimes when I'm trying to stream something like off of Netflix, and the connection is gone, there goes me watching it, and I have to look for something else. And so I always prefer, like, even though Breaking Bad is on Netflix, I personally bought the whole disc set of all seasons and all episodes just because sometimes if Netflix like takes it down or something, I still have the gratification of watching it on my choice.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. And all right, with that, let's move on to our second. Sorry.
Wait.
Our other. Wait.
Hold
Go-
on. I don't want to sound like oh I'm pro streaming, I'm this and that, because I still like cable TV. I still like waking up in the morning, turning on the TV and like surfing through the channels and see what's on. I still like putting my physical discs into my PlayStation to like watch movies or like play games and stuff. And yeah, that's
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
still use television. I've been using television for years, and I still get a kick out of trying to see what's on.
Right.
Like
True.
when you wake up, you don't need to stream something. I turn on the TV and like SpongeBob is playing. I'll be set for the day.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. Network television still has its place right now, but I think streaming has taken like a big chunk for some people.
But yeah, I really do
Um,
feel like in 15 years, cable is gonna be gone. Oh yeah,
that's right.
Samsung, they're not making Blu-rays anymore. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think that's what Shawn mentioned about Blu-rays getting obsolete and like is moving on to digital and stuff. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, Blu-rays are gonna be gone soon. So
Soon, where everything's gonna be digital and we're just gonna be flying around in digital cars and stuff.
We'll be dead by then, I bet.
Yeah, we'll
I don't,
probably
I
I
don't know
be
think
how
we'll. I
on
long
our
think
we
we'll
plan
be.
on,
deathbeds.
but like,
I think we'll be long dead before 4K Ultra HD disc are obsolete.
geez, how long do you think we're gonna live? I mean,
What
That
I
is
said,
if we
we're
don't
gonna
kill
be.
ourselves.
Yeah, I think we're gonna
okay.
be long dead. So
Cut.
like,
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna move on to our other subtopic. Favorite TV shows growing up. This is just like a topic I wanted to bring up.
hey,
Uh, so for me personally, growing up, I watched a lot of DC stuff, like animated stuff. Like that was the big thing for me growing up. Like watching the Batman animated shows, the Superman animated show, and of course the Justice League Unlimited. So for me personally, those were like uh, the shows I watched a lot growing up, and I had very fond memories of those shows. So yeah. So I'm gonna go with Sean first because I know he's very excited to talk about his favorite show growing up.
Growing up, my favorite shows, I mean, starting from a little kid, it would have to be like the classic, like Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, SpongeBob, Codename Kid Next Door, um,
Oh wow,
like
that's a good one.
Yes,
Danny
yes,
yes.
Phantom, Drake and Josh is still today one of my favorite shows ever.
yes,
iCarly, I actually enjoyed.
yes. I love iCarly.
Zoe
It wasn't bad. It
101,
wasn't
I
bad.
love, which is very weird because a lot of people didn't. And Victorious, I kind of liked, but like not that much.
I like
Um,
Victorious.
It
uh,
was fine.
and
that's a
then,
little past my time.
and I still count this as me growing up because this is such a big part of my life. Breaking Bad is by far the greatest TV show I've ever seen in my entire life. If I've watched the show 16 times in a row, from first episode to the last episode of the last season, and I still get anxious about, even though I know what's going to happen, I know it's a good show. By far, every single thing about the acting, the scenery, the dialogue, the camera angles, the camera placing, the music, every single aspect about this show is it's the it's pristine, it is meticulous, it is well written, well edited. It is the greatest TV show, the greatest casting to make it, one of the greatest stories ever made. It's for the perfect beginning, middle, and end for any TV show to ever have made. In the top 100 TV shows in Rolling Stones, it's number two as the greatest TV shows of all time. Bryan Cranston as Walter White is by far the greatest choice of an actor who was meant to be this part. He personifies Walter White, and it is so beautiful the way he makes it this character and seeing him grow into this into Heisenberg is such an amazing transition and so heartbreaking at the same time to see like the
No
tragic
spoilers.
fall. It's not spoilers.
Yeah, but does he ride a dragon though?
Okay, I'm not finished.
Fucking Game of Thrones is
I'm
better.
not finished yet, sir. Um, this show will forever go on in history as the greatest drama ever, and quite possibly
Wrong.
I'm not done yet. Stop interrupting me, bitch.
Oof.
Especially when I'm talking about Breaking Bad, you know better. Uh, by far the greatest drama TV series in history. The greatest beginning, middle, and end. Point blank, 100% Breaking Bad is top notch. And also growing up, I had Friends, which is still to this day such a legendary comedic TV show. And I'm even watching it on mute right now too. And The Office, which I only got into a few years ago, is still one of the funniest TV shows I've ever seen, and it uh, always like never disappoints. I've seen it tons of times, and also recently Narcos, which is a story about Pablo Escobar in the first two seasons. And it's mostly like in Spanish, but they also do it in English too. But it's on Netflix.
Bro,
It's
he meant like a few
great.
shows, not like
I am
5,000.
talking.
Yeah,
I mean, your
calm
laundry
down. I
list
need
of
to share
yeah,
my
laundry list of shows.
I mean, this fucking shows you fucking piece of shit.
Keep it short, mate.
Fuck you, you
Narcos.
fucking cunt. Go to fucking
Shut
hell.
up,
See you
shut
there,
up.
Thought you said we
bitch.
weren't gonna mention cunts.
Dude, shut up.
I like
Seriously,
cunts. I
stop.
can mention cunt whenever I like to.
Stop. Seriously, calm
Stop.
yourself.
Editing block.
Narcos is based on Netflix and it was produced from Netflix. It's one of the greatest TV shows I've ever seen. Too, the acting of the man who played Pablo Escobar, Wagner Moura.
Dude,
Shut up. Seriously, I don't talk when you talk. Seriously,
Yes, you do.
You know better than to interrupt me on this. Seriously.
the podcast
recording
is
now.
already an hour long.
That's okay. That's okay. It's fine. No problem.
Yes.
You
Narcos.
editing this?
Narcos is stellar. Office is stellar. Friends is stellar, but by far the top TV show in history and forever will be the greatest TV show I've ever watched growing up, whatever, in general, and I will never get sick of it, is Breaking Bad by far. There. You happy?
Yeah, sounds awesome. All right,
Thank goodness he's gone.
Cam, you're up.
Cam, I hate you.
Shut up.
All right,
I
Cam, go ahead.
watched a lot of cartoons growing up. A lot of go-to ones are SpongeBob, classic Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron. A ton of Cartoon Network shows like Kids Next Door, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Dexter's Lab,
Oh,
Billy
yeah.
and Mandy. Billy and Mandy's the one that nobody mentions. Oh, and original Powerpuff Girls too.
Oh yeah.
What else? Yeah, I even watched. Like I'm trying to think into my memory, like what shows I watched. I know the go-to cartoon ones. Another one that I watched was the first few seasons of Family Guy.
Oh yeah, Family Guy. You probably watched like maybe the first 5 because I usually hear people watching those first 5 seasons being really good.
And the reruns are still playing even now.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, sounds good. And Hound.
Okay, so my shows growing up, well, like the most, like I have something really weird on my list, so don't. I'm gonna say it right now, but like I think like I love the Muppets and I love puppet stuff like so much. I think it's just a cool and creative way of storytelling, and like it reminds me of my childhood, and like one of my favorite shows growing up was Mr. Meaty.
What?
I
That was the name of the
remember
show.
that show, and it was friggin' weird.
Yeah, I loved it. It's a show about puppets and like they're like it's these two like fry grill cooks who work at like this like restaurant at a mall and they just have adventures and they're puppets and it's just amazing. I don't know why. I just love it. The way the mouths move so weird and the hands. I don't know why, but I love that show so much. I love Total Drama Island, an original
Action was the
classic.
better season.
Huh?
Action was the better season.
I never really watched Action. I only I don't know why, but like every time I would go on Cartoon Network, I would never see it. And I loved Ned's the declassified school survival guide.
I forgot to mention that, and a bunch of the Disney Channel shows like Zack and
Yeah.
Cody.
Definitely.
Oh man, I forgot about Zack and Cody.
Also forgot about Tom and Jerry too.
Oh,
I never really liked Tom and Jerry.
and Sweet Life on Deck. Oh,
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one.
Another favorite of mine was Crypto the Super Dog, basically Superman's dog.
Oh
That,
yeah.
like, I love that
I
show
remember
so
that.
much. Like, I love that show so much. I love everything about that show. I watched it. I remember watching it every single day. Freaking Batman was in it. Well, Batman's dog was in it. Ace the Bat Hound. There was Supergirl's cat. The Flash never really had a pet, which sucks. But yeah, I really, really love that show. Now, the show that like means a lot to me was What's New, Scooby Doo, because Scooby Doo is just a big part of my life. I just love the character so much. The movies mean so much to me. I love the first one. I love the second one. The whole Shaggy demigod meme was like it meant so much to me because like something I loved from my childhood just came back just out of nowhere, and there was like all this like outpouring of love, like yo Shaggy, this is so funny. I love the cartoon. I love the animation. I love the intro. Some of the movies they had back in the early days of Cartoon Network were just topping on the cherry cake. The show was just great. Even though Mystery Incorporated is like arguably the better show, like I still love What's New Scooby Doo because of nostalgia. And
Don't hate me, but I've
um,
never liked Scooby Doo.
I
I've
mean,
never liked it.
yeah,
Oh wow.
it probably
That's
has an
fine.
acquired taste, but I love Scooby Doo so much.
an acquired taste.
I have like a whole
Acquired.
I
Like
have,
you
like,
have
a
to
whole-
have like a god complex, or that. To be fair, you have to actually have like a god complex to understand Rick and Morty, like that one meme.
I always thought Rick and Morty was Sanjay and Craig.
Oh yeah, I love that show, Sanjay and Craig, because I love snakes.
I never watched that. I just thought whenever people said that I always thought that was what they were talking about. Snake and that kid.
Fat kid, he was an Indian kid.
I said that kid.
Oh. Well, anyways, I have like a whole collection of like Scooby Doo, like stuffed animals from when I was like a baby.
Yeah.
It was like the best thing ever. So
Personally,
that's
I've
all.
only seen the very old ones. I think back in the '60s one. That's the only
Yeah,
one
I
I've
also
seen.
watched
Yeah.
those ones too. Those also play on Cartoon Network. I love those. Like
Yeah.
Scooby Doo, Where Are You? I love those.
Yeah. Those were mine favorite. Yeah. All right. With that, let's move on to Ziggler. I know he wants to talk about Game of Thrones. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. Not like some people. How
Game of
Shawn.
Thrones came out when he was 16. That doesn't count, but okay.
Game of Thrones. The first season came out in 2011.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
I forgot to mention another one.
All
Regular
right.
shows.
So
Ooh,
my
regular show.
At bedtime, yes.
I never seen that show.
Teen Titans. Oh my
All right,
God.
Ziggler, go ahead.
My favorite shows as a kid growing up, I guess, were Drake and Josh, the original Teen Titans,
Shit.
Fairy Odd Parents. I fucking loved SpongeBob SquarePants. That was my shit right there. I watched it every day.
I still watch it every day.
I also love Friends, that '70s show. How I Met Your Mother.
Hey, that's Kevin.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. And my favorite show of all time, and the best drama show of all time, and the best goddamn show in the fucking planet Earth.
Breaking Bad.
Game of fucking Thrones.
I
Everything,
never.
down to the camera work, down to the cinematography. The fucking score for Game of Thrones is so fucking beautiful, I cry.
This
Peter
original-
Dinklage is
this
the best
original
actor
ideas
to.
you got from me.
Peter Dinklage is one of the best actors of all time, and he's fucking great in that show. I love Peter Dinklage in that show. Same with Lena Headey.
But
Lena
does he
Headey.
cook meth?
Actually, there are some drug use in the show. Actually,
But
so
not meth.
yeah.
It's not meth. It doesn't count.
Well, you don't know if it's meth because it could be. They didn't have a name for it, but whatever. Fuck you. But yeah, Game of Thrones is the best show of all time. Continue, Syed.
All right. So with that, this is the end of our 6th episode. Hope you guys enjoyed our episode.
Thanks to the 55 people that watched it.
Thank you very much. Please share the episode if you guys enjoyed it. Helps us a lot. And next week we will have the review of Captain Marvel. I believe it will be released next week.
Hey.
So we'll have the review right here. And
A spoiler-free review.
A spoiler-free review. That's right. And next week we'll also have Guardians of the Galaxy 1 review on our Endgame, Road to Endgame review. So we're gonna do Guardians of the Galaxy 1 next week and Captain Marvel. That's gonna be after that. So yeah.
I really want to do Ultron.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. All right, with that, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.